Welcome to the Explainer. Let's talk about something small that makes a huge difference in your DIY projects, the humble screw. Yeah, I know. But get this right and your project is rock solid. Get it wrong? Well, you're looking at a whole lot of frustration. So today, we're going to zero in on 3 of the most common fasteners out there so you can nail it every single time.
Okay, let's just jump right into it. You might think, it's just a screw, right? Wrong. Choosing the wrong one can literally be the difference between a project you're proud of and, well, a total disaster. And trust me, the real cost isn't the few cents you save on a screw. It's the absolute nightmare of the damage it can cause later.
Come on, be honest. We've all done it, right? You're in the middle of a project, you need a screw. So you dive into that random jar of bits and pieces and just grab one that looks kind of okay. But have you ever stopped to think about what really happens when you make that choice? What are the real-world consequences?
And look, we're not just talking about a slightly wobbly shelf here. No, we're talking about that beautiful piece of oak you just bought splitting right down the middle, or tearing a huge gash in your brand new plasterboard, which means hours of patching and sanding. Or worse, a connection that just gives up over time and fails, maybe catastrophically. So yeah, this isn't a minor slip-up. It can wreck your materials and even make your project unsafe. So, how do we avoid all that drama? Simple. We need to learn to speak screw. Seriously. We've got to decode their DNA, understand what makes them tick. So let's break it down into 4 key parts. Think of it as Screw Anatomy 101.
Right. So every single screw you pick up is a tiny piece of precision engineering. It's not just a pointy piece of metal. Its head, the shank, the thread, and the tip, each part is designed to do a very specific job. And once you understand these 4 things, you'll be able to pick the perfect screw for any material every single time. It's like having a superpower.
Okay, first up, the head. And no, it's not just about what kind of screwdriver bit fits in it. The shape of the head is absolutely crucial. For example, a countersunk head is shaped to sink into the wood so it sits perfectly flush, for that clean professional look on furniture. Then you have something totally different, like a bugle head, which is curved specifically so it doesn't rip the paper on drywall. See? Genius.
All right, next is the shank. That's the smooth, unthreaded part you sometimes see right below the head. Now you might wonder what that's for. Well, its job is to act like a clamp. It lets the screw spin freely in the top piece of wood so it can pull that piece down really tight against the bottom one. That's how you get those super strong, seamless joints.
Now we get to the real powerhouse of the screw, the thread. This is its engine, this is where all the gripping action happens. And the key here is the spacing, what we call the pitch. Think about it. Big, coarse, aggressive threads are perfect for biting into soft materials like wood. But for something dense like metal, you need much finer threads to get a proper hold without stripping everything out.
And last but not least, we have the tip. This is the business end, right? It leads the charge. A super sharp point is designed to pierce right through wood fibers, and a lot of times you don't even need to pre-drill. But then you've got these other crazy specialized tips. Some of them literally look like a tiny drill bit on the end, because that's what they do. They drill their own hole as they go, straight into metal. How cool is that?
Okay, so now that we know the 4 parts of a screw's DNA, let's see how they come together in the real world. We're going to meet our 3 project specialists, the workhorse, the specialist, and the expert. First on our list is the absolute workhorse of the workshop, the chipboard screw. If you've ever put together flat-pack furniture, you know this guy. It's the unsung hero of cabinets and all kinds of woodworking because it's designed to bite hard and hold strong in stuff like MDF and particle board. So let's look at its specs. You'll often see a posi drive, that star-like pattern, which gives your driver a much better grip so you're less likely to slip and strip the head. Of course, it's got that countersunk head we talked about, so it sits nice and flush. And the real magic is that coarse, super sharp thread that just digs into those wood composite fibers and does not let go.
All right, moving on to a real specialist. This is the drywall screw. This screw has basically one job, one mission in life, to attach plasterboard to studs without, and this is the important part, without tearing that fragile paper surface. It's all about setting you up for a perfectly smooth wall. And here's where it gets really clever. It's not a one-size-fits-all deal. You actually choose the thread based on what your studs are made of. See, the coarse thread is for grabbing onto wood studs, but if you're working with metal studs, you need the fine thread, which is designed to tap into that thin steel without just chewing it up. But the most iconic thing about a drywall screw has gotta be that bugle head. Just look at it. That smooth, curved shape is pure genius. It doesn't punch through the paper, it just creates this perfect little dimple, which makes it so easy to cover with filler and get that invisible, flawless finish we all want.
And for our final specialist, meet the expert, the sheet metal screw. This thing is a beast. It's a self-tapping fastener, which means it cuts its own threads as you drive it into metal. It creates a rock-solid connection in places where pretty much any other screw would just spin and fail.
So a few things to notice here. First, they're fully threaded from top to bottom for maximum grip. The threads themselves have this very specific 60-degree angle that's engineered just for cutting in the metal. And you'll see they often have these wide, flat heads, called pan or truss heads, and that's to spread out the pressure so the screw head doesn't just pull right through the thin metal. Smart, right?
All right, so we've met the players. Now it's time for the ultimate screw showdown. Let's put them side by side so you can see exactly how they stack up. This is where it all clicks into place.
And here it is. This chart is basically your quick reference guide. Just look at how everything, the head type, the thread design, is perfectly tailored to its specific job and material. This is your cheat sheet for the hardware store. Seriously, hit pause right here if you need a minute to let it all sink in.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What does this all boil down to for your next project? Well, it's pretty simple actually. It's about shifting your mindset from just guessing to knowing. And that simple shift is what separates okay work from really great, quality work.
So, if there's one thing you remember from this, let it be this. These screws are not interchangeable. They are specialized tools. The chipboard screw is made to grip wood fibers. The drywall screw is designed to protect paper. The sheet metal screw is built to cut steel. Trying to swap them is, well, it's like trying to hammer in a nail with a wrench. You might make a hole, but you're going to make a mess.
This really sums it up perfectly. That extra minute you take in the hardware store to actually think and choose the right screw, that's not wasted time. That's an investment. It's an investment in the safety, the quality, and the longevity of whatever you're building. It's what takes your project from good enough to, wow, you made that.
So there you have it. You're now officially armed with the knowledge to pick the perfect fastener every single time. You've got the toolkit, so the only question left is, what are you going to go build? Thanks for watching this explainer.